What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream for UFC 254. Some things I want to get out right away here. Let me know how my microphone sounds. I am not home right now. I am out of town visiting some family, so kind of doing things a little bit different here. I don't have the beautiful green screen in the back. I'm using my old laptop, so if the sound sounds bad, let me know. I can fix it. So first things first, how do I sound? Is the mic looking good? Other than that, really looking forward to this card here. Maverick getting caught with that armbar from guard. I can't wait to talk about that fight. It sounds good. Awesome. That's awesome because very inconsistent. My old laptop is very inconsistent. But yeah, what's up, guys? Thank you all for hanging out. We have a big card on Saturday. Big card in the morning, and which sucks for me because I'm not really a morning guy, but I'm going to be on Saturday. Hopefully you guys are ready to make some money here. Thanks to you, I had the optimal lineup on Draftkings last weekend. Goat, hey, congratulations. I did as well, and I did. It was like a big tie. It was like 38 people, something like that. Happy to share it with you, man. And a lot of people in the Discord as well had the optimal lineup, so nice sharing it with them as well. Hopefully another takedown. We've got some big contests ready to get going. Mike sounds fantastic. Ready to hear that. Coffee and fights. Nice curtains. Yeah, I mean, they're actually my girlfriend's curtains here. So, yeah, I mean, I agree, guys. But, I'm not going to tell her that. But, something really, really happy to announce. I have a sponsor for the show. Pub Sports Radio. You can see it up in the top right corner, and it would help out a ton. I put the link in the description. I'll put it in the comments. Go subscribe to Pub Sports Radio. It is going to be the next big thing. I'm going to be over there putting up content each and every week. You'll see me on there doing live streams, some betting, hopefully some Draftkings as well. And really excited to have them as a sponsor, really excited to work for them. They're going to be, a big channel. I mean, they're growing, tremendously. The past couple months, you can see them growing, and they're only going to grow. So please do me a big favor. Go subscribe there because I'm going to be doing a lot of content over there. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing? Khabib. Let's see here. Get it with that sponsor. Yep, Pub Sports. Please subscribe. Helps out a ton there. About time. You're on your way. Keep it up. All right, guys. So we are going to – you just subscribe. Thank you, guys. So after this video, go subscribe. Helps out a lot. I'll be on there next week. Next week, going to be doing some live streams, some extra content. Really excited for that. Khabib is going to win. He will stay undefeated. He wrestles bears. It's over. It's all over. Thank you for that, Austin. Appreciate that, guys. So thank you all for that. Yeah, big opportunity there. Great channel. Great people over there. Really excited for that. Hopefully bring it to the next level. But we're going to get into this. We're going to talk some betting. We're going to talk some Draftkings. We're going to talk some final thoughts. We're going to talk some weigh-ins. And, it's tough. Waking up early, especially the guys out there Pacific time that got to wake up even earlier than me. Waking up, it's kind of hard to get motivated for some Joel Alvarez and Alexander Yakovlev. But we're going to do it anyway here. Should be an interesting fight. So Alvarez did come in a little bit overweight, but honestly, he looked fine. It looked like he didn't really try to cut the weight. He flexed. He looked fine. He went in there, didn't look like he tried to really kill himself to make that weight. So I think, in theory, it's probably going to help him in a fight that's probably going to touch the ground. And the thing with Alvarez is he has an awful takedown defense. He's not really one to go out there and get takedowns. And if this plays out on the feet, you see the improvements in Alvarez's striking. We saw it against Joe Duffy. He looked pretty solid. I think he is the better striker in this matchup. He's going to be the bigger fighter. I know they're both 6'3", but Alvarez with that couple extra pounds could help him, especially in a wrestling type scenario where Yakovlev does take him down. If he does that, Yakovlev has been submitted 4 times, which is really intriguing. I know he hasn't been submitted in a while, but still 4 times regardless. And Alvarez is someone, we can look at the numbers here. He has finished 100% of his wins, which is very, very interesting. 88% by submission as well. So I'm not going to play this fight. And honestly, the line coming down this much is very intriguing. Alvarez opened up a big favorite, and now he's minus 160. So although it is intriguing, I'm still going to stay away. I see a lot of people taking the shot on Yakovlev. I don't really see it. I do think Alvarez is the better fighter, the younger fighter, the more improved fighter. He's improving each and every time. Yakovlev's like 36 years old, something like that. He's not improving. So it's going to be a pass for me. Honestly, look at the inside the distance line for Alvarez, by finish. Plus 130, it's not bad. Plus 215 by sub, it's not bad. But I'm not putting my money on this fight personally. And as for Draftkings goes, I mean, you're getting some decent line value on Yakovlev at 7,200 at only plus 150. So that's that. But I'm just not overly excited to go out there and, play many Yakovlev lineups. And, same thing for Alvarez, like 9,000. I think he could do well, but there's so many other, great options up there in the 9,000 range. If you want to get a little bit different, if you want to find somebody lower owned, I think Alvarez will be the lowest owned out of that 9,000 range. So I will have some Alvarez. I have a little bit of Yakovlev. I know it's the first fight of the night, but man, it's not one I'm really excited for. What do you guys have in this fight? Is anybody betting this fight? What's up, Mo? You're the man, Brady. Glad to be part of the pub family. Me too, as well. Mo's going to be on there. Mo's awesome. Alvarez by sub or decision. I like it. What about Maverick getting smashed? We'll talk about that. I got Alvarez by sub. Bam Beers and Fights tomorrow. Alvarez and a Maverick parlay. Not bad. Khabib looked dead at the weigh-ins. And yeah, we'll talk about the weigh-ins. I need a boyfriend. Oh my gosh. I can't help you there. I've never had a Yakovlev lineup workout before. Hey, I'm with you there. All in, all. Yeah, I don't get this line movement. I mean, before the line movement, even at when he was plus minus 200 something, I kind of agree with the line there. I don't really understand this line movement. Good card to potentially make some money. Yes. Going to have a lot of bets, going to have a lot of Draftkings. It's a big card. Really looking forward to it there. Looks like everybody is on Alvarez here. I'm personally not going to touch it, but is Rakhmonov the best value on the slate? Yes, I'd say he's definitely one of the top values. We'll talk about him really soon. Pass all day. Smart man there. All right, so getting into the next fight here. So this bout order is mixed up. They mix it up throughout the week. It's Casey Kenny, Nathaniel Wood. I don't think that's the right order, but we'll go with it anyway. And this is a fight that is very, very intriguing from many aspects because I don't agree with the line. And I'm someone who's very high on Casey Kenny. I had a big play on him his last time out against Haile Alatang. And I still don't agree with the line. I think it should be closer to a pick 'em. And I see a lot of people out there betting Nathaniel Wood. And I don't disagree with that. I think this should be lined, maybe minus 120 Kenny would be fair. And as far as the fight goes, the striking, you got to give the advantage to Wood, although Kenny did show big improvements his last fight. But still, you've got to give the advantage to Wood. He does throw more output. But what I think is going to separate these two fighters is that ground game. And Casey Kenny's ground game is elite. I mean, he's someone that's able to, get on the ground with some guys like Ray Borg, Bermudez, guys like that. And Nathaniel Wood, he's out there subbing guys, but really low-level guys. And another thing that concerns me for Nathaniel Wood is that durability. He's been rocked a bunch. He's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted twice. And Casey Kenny is not really a finisher. We can take a look at the numbers here. 13% knockout rate, and he couldn't finish Haile Alatang after hitting him how many times to the body, destroying him, and he still couldn't get that finish. But 46% finish rate by Kenny. Well, I don't know. It's a tough fight to call. I am going to go with Casey Kenny. I just don't like the line. It's one of those cases where I like the fighter. The line's not there. Some props I guess you can look at. Casey Kenny by decision's not good enough for me. Maybe Kenny by submission is fine. Plus 560, that's actually not bad. Casey Kenny by KO. Since Wood is chinny, could be decent, but ultimately another pass for me. So on DraftKings, this is a very interesting fight. I love this fight from a cash perspective, more on the Wood side. So I think there's tons of value on Wood at 7,500, and I like him in cash. It's going to be a really close fight. I think this is going to come down to a very close decision. And I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Wood here. So 7,500 for cash, I think you're getting a nice floor. I think he will score low in a loss. I think he can score decent in a win with that volume. Don't see him finishing Kenny by any means. Kenny's very tough, but I could see Wood squeaking out a very close decision. As far as tournaments go, I do lean a little bit more to the Wood side just for the price. It's really hard to pay 8,700 for Casey Kenny because he had the performance of a lifetime last time against Alatang, and DraftKings only gave him 87 DraftKings points, something crazy like that. And speaking of DraftKings and Fight Metric, I had a ton of Park last week, and he landed 300 strikes. They gave him 10 significant strikes, so hopefully they clear that up for this big card. But yeah, it should be a good one here. I'm going dog or pass on this fight. I don't blame you there. You have to stay away bout. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I like Kenny here. I don't like the price. I think there is some recency bias built into that line, and there's nothing you can do about it there. Taking the value on Wood, I don't hate that. Wood might clip Casey if he tries hard for the finish. He wants to so bad. Maybe, but Kenny's very, very durable. I did Kenny and Volkov. I don't hate that. Wood has low power. Yeah, he doesn't have much power. I don't think he's going to knock out Kenny. You're on Kenny 100%. Wood looks better on paper, which surprised me. I know Kenny looked great just weeks ago, but from a betting perspective, the value would be on Wood. 100% agree. 100% agree. I do think there is, sadly, some recency bias. If it was a pick'em, I'd probably place a bet on Kenny. Minus 170, I just don't like that at all. 300 to 10, easily the biggest significant strike differential I've seen. Yeah, pretty crazy there. Yep, the significant strike count on Park was awful last week. It was awful. I had like 40% Park. I was like, yes, he landed like over 100 significant strikes, a lot of takedowns and advances. They gave him 10 significant strikes, so not good. All right, guys, I am so excited to talk about this next fight, and I'm really excited to hear everybody's opinions for it. Miranda Maverick versus Luana Jojua. This is my main event. I'm excited for this fight, believe it or not. I see a lot of Miranda Maverick disrespect everywhere. I mean, I really can't believe it. Watching tape on Miranda Maverick, I was looking for, does she have some striking to, stand and bang with Jojua? Because obviously Jojua is not a great striker. And, Miranda Maverick has very good wrestling. Her ground game is very, very legit. Her takedown defense is questionable, but she can get back up. She threatens off her back very good. She's able to get reversals, sweeps against some solid competition as well. And just watching tape on Jojua, I mean, I'm like one of the only people that picked Jojua to beat Belbita her last fight. But before that, she got dominated by Sarah Moras. She got finished in the third round by Moras. And I think there's a lot of recency bias built into the Jojua thing, she went out there and she armbarred Belbita from guard. And that was literally Jojua's only path to victory, and it happened. And I was all over that. I had Jojua at 11% on Draftkings, and I had a good amount of her because Belbita had been submitted 3 times prior to that. And I'll tell you guys right now, Miranda Maverick is not Belbita at all. I mean, Miranda Maverick is actually legit. She's still young. She's improving every time. Her striking needs work, but that's improving as well. And her ground game is absolutely legit. So if you're telling me Luana Jojua's only path to victory is an armbar from guard, Miranda Maverick's never been submitted, by the way, or her only path to victory is I see people picking her because she's Georgian. What? Like that? Like I know the Georgians have been fantastic lately, but you can't win a fight just because you're Georgian. I mean, Jojua has just not impressed me at all. And due to all the love on Luana Jojua, I am doing this. If Miranda Maverick loses on Saturday, I will personally make a Luana Jojua t-shirt and I will wear it all next live stream. That's how confident I am in Miranda Maverick. I just can't believe some of the things I'm seeing, guys. I think she's a fantastic prospect. And she was supposed to actually fight Mara Morella Barella. And I would have liked that with her as well. But I think this is an even better matchup against Jojua, someone who has no striking. Her ground game is decent, but she gets tired. She quits. She got finished by Sarah Moras. But like I said, if Jojua wins, I'm making myself a Luana Jojua t-shirt. I'll wear it on the live stream, but I don't see that happening. As for DraftKings, Miranda Maverick at 9,300. I like it. I think she has multiple takedown upside, multiple advance upside. I think she can get a finish as well late in the fight. As from a betting perspective, I like Miranda Maverick as a parlay as well. The line's coming down a little bit. It was at like minus 400 something. The line's coming back a little bit of love on Jojua. So like it as a parlay piece. I like it on DraftKings. Don't disrespect the Georgians have looked fantastic, but I mean, just because you're a Georgian, that you can't win a fight like that. It's going to have the glitter. It's going to look really nice. I'm going to personally I'm going to go get the supplies, make a nice t-shirt. If Luana Jojua beats Miranda Maverick, and that's how confident I am. Yep. They are built different, man. Maverick is buying into her own hype. I hope not. Are you going to do a cast with Bleed and MMA and those guys again this week? Looking forward to that. Yes, that's going to be at 9:00 p.m. Eastern time after this. Since it's women's MMA, I wouldn't be surprised if Jojua won by armbar from guard and it crushed everyone's parlay. I mean, it is women's MMA, but if you're telling me her only path to victory is that armbar from guard, I think Miranda Maverick's ground game is legit enough to stay out of that. And she said it herself in an interview. She was like, as long as I don't get caught in an armbar from guard, I'm going to win. Like she knows what's up, that armbar from guard. So hopefully, you'd think she's been working on that. But yeah, hopefully Maverick gets it done so I do not have to make that Jadua t-shirt. All right, so Jadua isn't UFC caliber. Mav will dominate her even on the ground. I think Maverick could strike with her for 15 minutes and win the fight, and I don't expect that. I do think it touches the ground. I'm pretty confident it touches the ground, but I do think Maverick will be fine there. All right, so getting into the next fight, I would rather lose a max bet than rock a Jadua shirt. Yeah, I mean, it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk there. All right, so getting into the next fight. So yeah, that's my main event because I'm very high on Miranda Maverick. So hopefully she gets it done. Da Un Jung versus Sam Alvey, and man, another fighter I really like here in Da Un Jung at 9,400 on DraftKings. And I do want to bring up some numbers here. And Da Un Jung lands 6.59 significant strikes per minute compared to Sam Alvey's 3.11. Sam Alvey just has not been looking great as of late. He's lost 4-0. He did an interview, and even he was surprised that he actually got another shot at the UFC, which is very interesting there. And Da Un Jung, like watching tape on him, I mean, I'm not overly impressed. He had that great knockout on Mike Rodriguez, but I just think this is a really bad stylistic matchup for Sam Alvey. Due to the low output, due to being so slow, Da Un Jung is going to throw double what he does. And I mean, you can see it there. Da Un Jung does absorb 7.505 significant strikes per minute. That's because Khadis Ibragimov unloaded a 50-punch combo on him in the first round of their fight. So that's why that number is a little skewed there. But he was able to eat all those punches. He was able to come back and actually submit Khadis Ibragimov in that third round, which is not impressive, but he was able to show a good chin. He showed great cardio. He showed great output. I just really like this matchup for Da Un Jung. And I'm really struggling to find a path to victory for Sam Alvey as well. It'd have to be some type of knockout, I guess. I just don't think that's all that likely. So I do think Da Un Jung is a nice parlay piece, minus 315. I think the line's coming down a little bit. Da Un Jung, plus 105 KO. I wouldn't touch. I can also see Da Un Jung winning a decision, potentially plus 240, because Sam Alvey is really tough. Last fight, everybody thought that Ryan Spann was going to finish Sam Alvey. I was not one of those people. I had Spann by decision. Alvey has a decent chin. He's been knocked out 3 times in 47 fights. Da Un Jung is a finisher, finished 92% of his fights, but I wouldn't be shocked if it went to decision. But hopefully he gets to finish there because I will have a decent amount on DraftKings. So give me Da Un Jung. I have him in a parlay. I like him on DraftKings, 9,400 due to the output, due to the finishing ability. And fairly confident in that as well. Love Jung this week, parlay piece for sure. I'm with you. I like him as a parlay piece there. Da Un Jung all day. Love the work, brother. Keep it up. Thank you, Austin. Da Un Jung, second round knockout. I like it. What do you think about Walt Harris? We'll talk about that very, very soon here. Alvey was retained to be fed to a prospect. Yep, I think he's getting fed here to Da Un Jung. Alvey has that dad bod. Yep. Jung all day. Jung by KO, TKO. I mean, I don't hate it. Plus 100. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. He's finished 92% of his fights there, so I can definitely see it. Especially if he can put it on Alvey with multiple shots, maybe put him away. I can see it for sure. He has some power. He's improving. He's very young. He's still improving, looking really good. So yeah, I don't hate it. Best parlay. All right, so yeah, I like Da Un Jung as a parlay piece here. All right, and then we're going to get into a bet I do want to talk about, and that is Alex Oliveira versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. And this is tough, guys. I bet Rakhmonov earlier in the week at plus 135. Plus 135. The line has completely flipped. I thought it would go towards a pick'em, potentially flip, but it completely flipped here, minus 120. I wouldn't be shocked if it even got wider. I'll be honest, I liked it better at plus 135. I don't know if I would pull the trigger at minus 120. I think there's very slight value. I do think this fight should be a pick'em. That's why I did pull the trigger on the plus 135. Oliveira did come in and miss weight. He missed it by a couple pounds, which does concern me a little bit. I don't like to see that, but I do like Rakhmonov in this fight. I think it's a good stylistic matchup for him. And basically because Oliveira is someone who throws very, very little output, and he's someone who slows down a ton. And typically I'd be worried about these guys that come in here, 12-0 undefeated, but Rakhmonov's actually fought in a legit organization. He's fought, decent competition. And, the UFC, they like what they see in this guy. They were matching him up against some, pretty solid opponents. Elizu Zaleski was someone that comes to mind. I was supposed to fight him, and they're giving him Alex Oliveira. And I like him. I like him to get it done. On DraftKings, yeah, 7,700. He's a really good value play. I mean, he's the favorite at an underdog price on DraftKings. And I don't know. I mean, he's finished 100% of his wins, and they're not all like in the first round. This guy can go and get finishes in the second and third round too, and that's something you do like to see. His cardio is pretty solid. I think he has, obviously the better cardio than Oliveira, and I just think it's a good stylistic matchup. The problem is that step up in competition. Oliveira is a strong guy. He has a takedown defense of 61%. So maybe Rakhmonov can get him down, but tire him out a little bit. I like the matchup for Rakhmonov. I really do. I think he's a solid fighter. I do think he's legit. But like I said, I did like that plus 135 a lot better than the minus 120. Would I bet it where it's at now? Maybe. But like I said, you probably should have got it earlier in the week. Still think there's decent value. Take a look at some props. Rakhmonov by KO plus 375. Rakhmonov inside the distance plus 230. It's not awful. Like you said, he has finished all of his fights. Oliveira has been submitted 3 times. He has been knocked out once. So maybe look at the Rakhmonov inside the distance. Also, something that really surprised me was the fight doesn't go to decision line at minus 125. And I think this line's a little off. I can definitely see this finishing inside the distance or even the under 2.5. Both guys are more than capable of finishing. I know Oliveira hasn't had a finish since like 2018, 2017, but he's a capable finisher. And, Rakhmonov has been hurt before. But he was able to recover, something I really did like to see. Oliveira has finished 78% of his wins. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a decent shot on the under, I don't hate the under on the Oliveira-Rakhmonov fight. I think it's plus 105, under 2.5. So, did not pull the trigger on that myself. I do have Rakhmonov, 1 unit, plus 135. I think he gets it done. I like the value shot there. I like him on DraftKings. I like Oliveira on DraftKings. I think this is a fight you're going to want to target. Oliveira is going to be very low owned. If he does win, it's going to be extremely low owned. And it's probably some type of finish, maybe a decision, and he probably scores high. So, yeah, I like both fighters on DraftKings, but give me Rakhmonov to get it done. I took the fight does not go to the distance in this one after Alex missed weight. I like it. And, yeah, he's someone that typically does slow down. So I don't know how the weight cut's going to affect him. I mean, did he try to cut down that weight? Did he not try to cut down the weight to, conserve some energy? I don't know. But what is Shavkat's finish rate? 100%. It's Khabib time. Cowboy has stung me so many times betting against him. I mean, he's someone that's really inconsistent. Like, you don't know when this guy's going to show up. He's either going to look fantastic or he's going to look awful. We don't know which Cowboy's going to show up. So I do like that plus 135 I got. I'll take Rakhmonov as a dog. Sorry, off topic. Just quickly, did you see Chimaev versus Edwards is booked? Any very early thoughts? Yeah, I believe Chimaev opened up as an underdog and he got steamed to a favorite, I think. But yeah, I really like that fight. I think it's going to be great for Chimaev to fight somebody pretty legit there in Edwards, and I'm really looking forward to that fight. Missed weight, I'd say he doesn't show up. Yeah, very concerning. Very concerning if you're on the Cowboy side. But yeah, it should be a close fight. It should be a good fight. Hopefully Rakhmonov gets it done. All right. Just want to remind you guys, make sure you guys head over to Pub Sports Radio after this. I put the link in the description. I'll put the link in the comments. Please hit the subscribe button. It would help out a ton. I will be on there next week and for the foreseeable future, doing extra content, betting, DraftKings, some live streams as well. Would really mean a lot if you guys went over there and subscribe. Let's grow the channel over there. But getting into the next fight here, and what a crap shoot this is. Stefan Struve versus Tai Tuivasa. And, I mean, it's a tough fight to call. I can see why it's a pick'em. But I do like Tai Tuivasa in this fight. And just, I mean, Stefan Struve was someone who he actually retired, came back. He got finished. He's been finished 7 times by knockout. This dude does not have a chin whatsoever. And watching tape on Tuivasa, I know, I mean, the ground game, the takedown defense, I think he'll be okay. Stefan Struve's not someone that goes out there and really gets takedowns. I mean, you see him get a couple. He does average about a half a takedown for 50 minutes, 50% accuracy. Tai Tuivasa, you see there, 42% takedown defense. Sergey Spivak took him down 6 times very easily, but Spivak's actually not a bad fighter there. I'm going to go with Tai Tuivasa to get the first round knockout. Watching tape on this guy, he has a round in him. He has 1 round to get it done. If he does not, he's going to lose the fight. He comes out there very, very hard, and he actually looked decent at weigh-ins from Tai Tuivasa standards. So hopefully he came in there with a better gas tank. And I actually did take a shot on Tai Tuivasa. I wanted to bet him. I wanted to bet him at that plus money. Probably not going to do that, but I did take a shot on Tai Tuivasa actually in the first round at plus 400, and I put 0.25 units on that. Low risk, high reward. I think if he wins, it's in the first round. If he does not finish in the first round, he's going to lose. He's going to slow down, probably lose a decision to Struve or get taken down and submitted. So I did take that first round shot plus 400. I think it's a decent shot to take because, you watch the fights. He comes in hard in the first round. If he does not get that finish, the power starts to diminish. He starts to diminish it a little bit. So I like that round one prop I got at plus 400. Tai Tuivasa by KO plus 140. It's not bad. But like I said, if it gets out of the first round, I find it kind of hard to see him getting a finish there just because of how tired he's probably going to be. As for DraftKings, this is one of those ugly fights that you want to target. And we see it every week. There's a really ugly fight that nobody wants to play on DraftKings, but it's going to score well. And this is one of them. Struve is more than capable of going out there, getting a takedown, submitting Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa is more than capable of pushing Struve up against the cage, landing some bombs, and knocking him out. It's a 50-50 fight for a reason. One of those things are probably going to happen. And for that reason, you were going to win on DraftKings. Obviously, I like the savings of Tuivasa at 7,900, but I will have some Struve. And Struve will probably be lower owned as well. I guess he has a takedown upside, probably a submission upside, or I can just see him winning a decision, a very ugly, boring, sweaty decision if that is the case. But I do see this pot probably finishing here. So Tai Tuivasa for me, first round prop for me. Bunch of DraftKings on this fight, and hopefully it does finish. Would be nice. I got it for plus 450. He is KO or bust. I like that. Brady will parlay his favorite fighters this week. Alvi, Struve, and Murphy. Nope. What's up, Boston Nick? How are you doing, man? What do you think of a Volkov, Whitaker, and Khabib parlay? I think Whitaker, if you like him, just play him straight. He's at a line where you could just play him straight. Khabib and Volkov, I think you do get plus money. You could do that. I subscribed to Pub Sports and got a virus. I'm not posting from a bunker. That's not going to happen. Mad Mardigan. All right. He is at the buffet as we speak. You're not wrong there. Struve to be retired for a second. He probably should hang it up. I mean, he's had a long career. He's been knocked out 7 times. I think Tuivasa probably gets it done here, but yeah. Looks like he's been putting in some work as well. It looks like he's in some solid shape. So I don't know. Thank you all for hanging out. 264 people in the chat. Thank you all so much for hanging out on a Friday night. Really appreciate that a lot. We have a fantastic card here on Saturday morning. And yeah, hopefully we make some money. So I do have quite a bit of bets. A lot of people asked me, are you going to be posting them on Twitter, Instagram, all that because of the early start? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll probably post them sometime tonight. Was thinking tomorrow morning, but that's not probably going to work out for you guys. So I'll probably post my bets sometime tonight, maybe after my second live stream tonight. So getting into the next fight and deja vu. I mean, we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba for the scheduled for like the 5th time, and so far so good on it being going as far as scheduled here. I guess Cutelaba, one of his cornermen, did test positive for COVID. But as far as I know, the fight is still on. And I got Ankalaev here. I don't like the price at minus 305. I think Cutelaba is very, very dangerous in that first round. And honestly, he looks in phenomenal shape. It looked like, he said, screw COVID. And he went out there and he did something. I mean, he looks good. He looks good. So, me saying he's only a first round fighter, maybe he can translate that into the second and maybe third round, because he does look in probably the best shape he's ever looked in. So, yeah, the minus 305, no thank you. I do think he gets it done, probably inside the distance, which is minus 115. But the problem is I can honestly see him winning a decision here. You can take a look at the finish stats for Ankalaev. 54% of his wins by knockout, 8% by submission, only a 62% finish rate. As for Cutelaba, 93%. Yeah, going to be a pass for me. If I was doing a Hail Mary parlay, maybe I'll slide Ankalaev in there. I do think he wins. I think he's a better fighter, but Cutelaba is going to be very dangerous in that first round. Maybe take a look at the Kudalaba first round prop. Maybe take a look at Kudalaba inside the distance plus 345, plus 380 by KO. But yeah, this is a big pass. As for DraftKings, Ankalaev on DraftKings, 8,900 is fine. I think Kudalaba is going to be one of the more popular pump plays because he does have that upside of getting a finish. So I will have some more Kudalaba than Ankalaev more than likely, because I do like other plays a little bit better than Ankalaev, but I think he's a fine option. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough fight to call. I mean, minus 305 is just a little bit too wide. Kudalaba always looks good. Yes, he does, but he looks extra good this time. Triangle and armbar, Steven. Kudalaba was giving Cannonier some trouble. Yeah, I mean, Kudalaba's not a bad fighter, especially early on when he's fresh. He's solid for sure. Everyone gives Cannonier problems. Kudalaba looked cut. I bet his playing possum loss has tormented him all this time. Kind of like him as an underdog. Yeah, if you're going to take a shot on him, probably inside the distance, maybe get an even better line. On DraftKings, yeah, I think he's a fine punt option. He's going to go out there. He's a madman. It's going to be a really fun fight. What are the bets? I think the ones I talked about already was Tai Tuivasa in round 1 and Shavkat Rakhmonov at plus 135. Those are the 2 bets I have so far. All right, so yeah, hopefully we get to see the fight. I'm really excited to see it play out. And next we have Lauren Murphy versus Aliyah Shakarova. And I am stumped as to why this is on the main card of UFC 254. And I understand Lauren Murphy was supposed to fight Cynthia Calvillo, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't hate seeing Casey Kenny, Nathaniel Wood on the main card instead of this fight. And it's just a weird fight. I mean, I don't know much about Shakarova. I was able to watch a decent amount of tape. She looks solid. It's just the level of competition is very concerning. She was going out there picking up these, lower level fighters and actually slamming them. She looks like a beast, but you do got to factor in the level of competition. Minus 195 is actually kind of intriguing for Murphy. Just being the way more experienced fighter, being the bigger fighter at weigh-ins. Murphy looked a ton bigger than Shakarova. I do think that's going to pay dividends, and I do have a bet on this fight. And I did see a prop that really stuck out to me, and that is Lauren Murphy by knockout. And there's different lines out there for different books. I got it. It looked like to be like one of the worst lines out there. I still like the price, but I got Lauren Murphy wins by KO at plus 600, and I have half a unit on that. And you can see it here. I mean, on some books, Lauren Murphy by KO is like plus 800, and I think there's a lot of value on that because we'll take a look at the finish stats here, and she does have 2 knockouts in the UFC. She does hit really hard. She did Roxanne Modafferi, somebody who's very durable. So Lauren Murphy has finished 62% of her wins by knockout. 62% of her wins overall. And maybe Shakarova is some kind of, fraud. I wouldn't be surprised because of the level of competition she's been facing. Maybe she's a beast, but I still don't see her beating Murphy here. But yeah, I do like that knockout prop plus 785. It seems like a good number to me. If you want to play the inside the distance plus 465, that's fine. But I do think if she gets it done, inside the distance, it's by a knockout. And yeah, I probably would put her in a Hail Mary parlay as well. I'm pretty confident in that. And it is women's MMA again, but and Shakarova does look decent, but Lauren Murphy should get it done here. She's the more experienced fighter. I mean, she was training for Cynthia Calvillo. She should be ready to go. Give me Lauren Murphy here. As for DraftKings, I'm not interested in the Shakarova side. I don't see her going out there picking up Lauren Murphy and slamming her. If she does, that'd be crazy to see, but Lauren Murphy shows really good takedown defense, really strong. At 8,800 for Lauren Murphy, I think that could be a very sneaky play. First of all, nobody's going to play her. Second of all, if she does get that knockout, you could be looking at a 10% or less Lauren Murphy, maybe a slate-breaking play there if she does get that finish. So I will be having some Murphy. Not going to go crazy on it, but maybe like double the field on my Murphy exposure there on DraftKings. Because I do think a finish is definitely could happen. Lauren Murphy looked fantastic on the scale. Yes, she did. She looked big. Is she a white belt? Really? That's interesting there. Well, she was trying to finish Cynthia Calvillo. First round KO. That's what I like to hear. I would love to hit that plus 600. Murphy parlay with Ankalaev. I don't hate it. I'll wear a Murphy shirt if she gets that knockout. I'm with you. Why was she? I don't know. The favorite has won 10 straight women's UFC fights, and I did see that as well. So yeah, there you go. Justin's going to shock the world. We'll talk about that soon. Murphy inside the distance plus 400. Say if you want to take the safer side, yeah. She just doesn't. She's never had a submission win, so take that as you will. I'm playing Murphy instead of Volkov. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you'll get her like half the ownership. I think she has that upside. I don't think it's a bad play for like a low owned target. And we are almost at 300 people. If we can get over that 300 mark, that would be sweet. And also hit that like button. As always, we try to get that 100 like mark. We've been getting it every time. Let's continue that. Everybody go hit the like button. It does help a ton. Murphy looked way bigger. Yeah, she did. So probably put her in a Hail Mary parlay if I do one, which I probably will. And I do like that KO prop. I mean, plus 800 on some books. Put a half a unit on it. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. And I know, Clint from the Die Hard MMA podcast is on Lauren Murphy inside the distance as well. I think he better inside the distance, not the KO prop. But yeah, Clint's a very respectable guy. He's on it too. So, there you go. UFC 254 starts in how many hours from now? I'm not, the best at math, but like 14 hours from now, I think. Do you post your Hail Marys? I do on Patreon. Sometimes I'll post them on Twitter. Yeah, maybe I'll post this one on Twitter here, but I probably will have a Hail Mary. Murphy is powerful and muscle girls her size. She's a lot bigger here, expecting her to be dominant. Yeah, so hopefully if she gets that knockout, that would make me really happy there. All right, so getting into the next fight. Again, I mean, I'm all for it, but another matchup where you just really question, like, why is this on the main card of UFC 254? And I know it's going to be a really fun fight. After digging in, it's going to be a very fun fight. Don't get me wrong, but there's some of the name value. And I know Phil Hawes was on the Contender Series, but Jacob Malkoun is someone who has 4 fights on his record. And just watching tape on Malkoun, I mean, the little tape that was shown, I think I watched like 2 or 3 fights. He actually looks, fairly technical. His ground game looks okay. Other than that, I mean, I'm not overly impressed with the guy. Phil Hawes is someone who is an absolute beast, but he is someone who does slow down a lot as the fight goes on. And, I mean, he's someone who does, when he wins, he's finishing the fight. He has a 100% finish rate, 75% by knockout, 25% by submission, and he's typically getting that fight won in that first round, which you like to see. And I don't know, 4 fights, Malkoun. And I see a lot of people betting this guy, Malkoun, and I don't get it. Is it like a fade on Phil Hawes? Because like, what kind of inside information do you have on Malkoun that I'm not seeing? Because I mean, he looks okay, but I do think Phil Hawes gets it done here outside of Malkoun, surviving the first round and a half, taking over late. I think that's a path to victory. So if you are betting Malkoun, maybe it is a fade on that Hawes cardio. Maybe, I don't know, Hawes has been knocked out before. Hawes has been submitted before, but I do like Hawes in this matchup. So the line is not bad, actually, at minus 240, Phil Hawes. I think it was a little bit wider than that earlier in the week, but there has been some love on Malkoun. And maybe it's because, I mean, Malkoun is a training partner of Robert Whittaker. He does have a little bit of a boxing background, and you can kind of see it in there, but, this is MMA, and he's only 4-0. So Hawes is the more experienced guy, very explosive. He's a finisher. And I do have a bet. I have a bet on this fight. I have Phil Hawes, and I've been eyeing this line all week because I do think this line is off. Phil Hawes inside the distance, I got it at minus 110. I have 1.1 units on that. So minus 110. You're going to give me minus 110 on a minus 240 favorite fighter that comes out, trying to end the fight early. He's finished all of his fights. And if he does not get that early finish, he's going to lose. I think there's so much value on that inside the distance prop. Honestly, so I did have to take a shot. I think if Hawes wins, it's going to be inside the distance. So I had to jump on. I jumped on 1.1 units, minus 110 I got it at. I think it's like minus 120, minus 110 probably still on some books. I think it's a lot of value, especially if you are on the Hawes side. If you're on the Hawes side, minus 110 inside the distance, I think it's the way to go. If you're on the Malkoun side, maybe look at the 3rd round prop for some kind of crazy line there. Maybe look at the, decision prop. I don't know, but I do think Hawes gets it done. As for DraftKings, honestly, Hawes is one of my favorite tournament options on the slate because he's going to come out there and try to get that first round finish. He's going to try to get that finish in the first round and a half. So that's something I'm looking at. And Malkoun, maybe the dude's legit. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. Maybe he's legit. He is able to survive that first round, round and a half, takes over, gets a finish. Malkoun at 7,100 is not a bad option there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I don't know why it's on the main card, but it's going to be really fun there. I'm loving a Khabib and Jong parlay. Passed on this one. Tuivasa is my cousin. I don't know if that's true, but you're going with Struve. Maybe highlighting Hawes, putting him on the main card. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what's going on. Their salary is only 9K. OMG. Kind of like that goof Clint's videos too. Yeah, Clint's awesome. Best parlay on the card. I'll be talking about my parlays at the very end. Other than that, yeah, Phil Hawes should get it done here. Malkoun fits the younger, taller, more rack model. Bypass, 15 hours and 20 minutes away right now. Not bad. All right, your money should be safe. Have Hawes in my parlay. I like it. Hawes or Maverick in cash? You know, I think if you want more upside in your cash lineup, you could go Hawes. But honestly, I think Maverick's a little bit safer. Personally, I don't have either of them in my cash lineup, but I do have Hawes and Maverick in my my single entry lineup, if that makes sense. For the upside, I think they both have upside, but I do think there's some safer options up top. Best parlay, we'll talk about it. Never played UFC Draftkings before. Do you play heads up or tournaments? Are you profitable? Yeah, I just got a takedown last week actually. And I know it was shared with a lot of people, but that was awesome to see. And yeah, I do mostly tournaments. I do the 150 max, sometimes the 20 max, and then single entry and a lot of cash as well. All right, so we're going to get into the next fight. And we hit 300 people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on a Friday night. Please hit that like button. 300 is an awesome number there. Lots of people in here. Thanks for watching. And we are getting on to a very intriguing fight here. Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris. And man, so I do have Volkov in a parlay. I got it earlier in the week. And I'll be honest when I say I'm kind of concerned with the weigh-in. So Volkov weighed in at 265 pounds. And he's someone who's a point striker, high volume. You know, he relies on that speed, not much on his power. And he came in at 265 pounds for, I don't know why. You'd think he'd come in at 265 for maybe the Blades fight. That would be kind of smart. But no, he comes in here at the Walt Harris fight, 265 pounds. Why? And Walt Harris on the flip side, I mean, he's been putting in some work. He looks really good. So like I said, I do have Volkov in a parlay. But what I did was I've been looking at this line all week, and I think it makes even more sense than it did before, especially with the Volkov putting on that extra weight. And I did see that he wants to come out here maybe looking for a finish. He's going to have the extra weight, more power. And I do want to point out, like, a lot of people think that Volkov's not really – I mean, he's finished 75% of his wins, 65% by knockout. And Walt Harris has been knocked out 3 times. And we'll talk about the matchup a little bit, but I do want to touch on this play I have, and that is the under 2.5. Under 2.5 rounds at minus 130. I have 1.3 units on it. And you typically don't get a heavyweight fight in general at the 2.5 round mark. And, you know, 2 guys that can finish, and you're getting them at the 2.5 mark. I do like that under. It's juiced a little bit to minus 130. But I think it's a kind of a nice hedge on the Harris side, because if Harris wins, it's going to be in round 1. It's going to be early. If Volkov wins, I think he can win in any round. I think he can finish early. I think if Walt Harris does tire off that first round, I think Volkov can definitely finish in that second round. And getting that extra weight for Volkov, I mean, in my opinion, I do think it hurts him. But yeah, he's probably gonna throw a little bit harder. So I do like the under 2.5 a lot. If you're on the Harris side, minus 130, I like it quite a bit. If you're on the Volkov side, I still like it. I'm still fine with Volkov in the parlay too. Honestly, I'm fine. I like him in this matchup a lot. Just the weigh-ins does concern me. I'll be honest, it does. But I do think he's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. Obviously, a big height advantage as well. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's a better fighter by a decent margin as well. I mean, Walt Harris, we'll take a look. I mean, he's someone who's like 13-8 in MMA, and Volkov's 31-8. I mean, I think he's levels above Harris, but you can't count out the power of Harris. So, yeah, like I said, the under 2.5 is a good look. you are on the Harris side, plus 250 by KO. Good luck. Harris round 1, probably a good look if you're on the Harris side, but give me Volkov. I'm still confident in it, but man, I don't get the 265 weigh in here. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does help him because he did say this is going to be the best Volkov you've ever seen. This is the best he's ever been. He said it himself. So we'll definitely see. Give me Volkov here on DraftKings. Obviously, Walt Harris at 7,600. A very good DraftKings play. Volkov at 8,600. I think he'll be a little bit low owned because sometimes he does go to decision. I think he could get a finish here. I think it'll be decently low ownership. 8,600. Heavyweights thrown down. I like it. Not going to go crazy on it, but I do like it. But yeah, a decent fight here. I'm really looking forward to it. Volkov all day. Volkov round 2 KO. I said this earlier. I'm playing Murphy instead of Volkov. I smell a Walt explosive KO. I mean, maybe. I have 10 lineups, 0 Volkov. Yeah, if you have 10 lineups, you're fine. But if you are doing like multiple lineups, Volkov's a good option. Volkov all day. Another fight to take inside the distance. Walt looks trim. Yep. Volkov puts on muscle. Yep. And both have plenty of KOs. Yep. I'm with you there. I do like the under quite a bit. I bet Volkov after the first round. Harris will start strong and fade. Yes, I'm with you there. Volkov. Harris has knockdowns on over 3% of his strikes landed in the UFC. One of the highest rates I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, he's a very powerful dude, but I do think the length and the range of Volkov will definitely give him problems, but you can't count out Walt Harris by any means. Is there any chance Harris wrestles Volkov? I don't think so. I've seen people saying that. He's not someone that goes out there and gets takedowns. He doesn't have the gas tank to get takedowns. Maybe he's been working on that. I don't see it happening. Volkov went to the distance with Greg Hardy. No way he finishes him unless he has a mess after the first 2. I mean, we saw Walt Harris. He was a mess after the Overeem fight. Overeem was able to easily finish him there. Greg Hardy has better cardio than Walt Harris. Volkov does have good jits. If it goes to the ground, Volk can submit him. Yeah, I don't see it going to the ground here. So now it is time for the main event, co-main event, and I'm struggling with this fight. I've been struggling with it all week, and I'm going to continue to struggle with this fight up until the fight happens because I think Robert Whittaker is the better fighter overall. I think he is better in every single aspect of MMA besides of the power and besides the durability. And in this fight, that's probably going to play a really big factor. So, man, I see a lot of people really, really confident on either side, and I don't see how. I mean, I think Whittaker can go out here, win a decision, but the problem is Cannonier is going to hit him, and he's going to hit him very hard. And I don't know if Whittaker's chin can hold that, hold up, because Whittaker's been dropped in his last 4 fights, maybe 5 fights. I'm staying away, 100%. I'm staying away. I can't put my money on either guy. And although I do think Whittaker is the better fighter, every time I see it playing out in my head, I see Cannonier just knocking him out. I don't know. As for DraftKings, I will have a decent amount of this fight. I'm actually leaning towards the Cannonier side on DraftKings for that finish upside. Cannonier is really hard to finish. I mean, he's been knocked out by guys like Dominic Reyes. No shame in that at all. And I mean, Whittaker is a decent finisher, but it's hard to see him finishing Cannonier. Maybe he does. But I think if there's going to be a finish, it's going to come from the Cannonier side. So yeah, Cannonier on DraftKings, I'm going to have a decent amount. I do think there's you see it right there. It's a pick 'em fight, 50-50 fight. I think there's a 50-50 chance he goes out there and knocks out Whittaker. But can I put my money on it? No. Can I put my money on either guy? No. I don't have a good enough read. I see a lot of people really confident. I don't see how. I think Whittaker's going to land more volume, but the chin. And it's a shame because he's only 29 years old. Cannonier's like 36, but man, has Robert Whittaker been through some wars, and that chin has taken a toll on the chin there. So I don't know. I'm staying away from this fight from a betting perspective. I'm going to take Whittaker, but no, I can't bet it. Let me know what you guys have. It's going to be very interesting. I see a lot of people going either way here. I see a lot of people really confident either way here. Now, Whittaker did look really good at the weigh-ins as well. I did notice that. Israel called him out, so he went. He did call out Cannonier. Cannonier is a little strange, but I think he's unlocked something mentally that's taking him to the next level. Yeah, I don't want to bet against Cannonier, and I don't want to bet against Whittaker. So this is the biggest pass on the card for me. Whittaker can win, but he's going to get touched. Yeah, I'm with you there. Till would have beat Whittaker if he didn't get injured. I don't know. Yeah, Whitaker gets knocked down every time, but rarely gets finished. That is true. I think he was knocked out like what, twice? Yeah, he's been knocked out twice. I'm on Whitaker by decision. Yeah, so we'll take a look at some props. Cannonier by knockout plus 180. If you're on the Cannonier side, it's not a bad line. If it goes to decision, Fight Island judges love volume. I like Bobby Knuckles. Yeah, I mean, if it goes, yeah, it's just a if. You know, it's the if that's really getting me, because I don't know if that chin can hold up against someone who's very, very powerful like Cannonier. I mean, someone who used to fight at heavyweight, you know? So I don't know. Whitaker is just as big as strong. You're blind, bro. Rest in peace, Bobby Knuckles. This fight is so hard to call. I am 100% with you. Cannonier's second round. He is in the proper weight class now, and he is huge and so fast. Not impressed after the Till fight. Yeah, I mean, Whitaker has been through some worse, and he's only 29. So, yeah, it's a pass for me, but boy, am I excited to watch the fight. I mean, I'm really excited to watch the fight. You need a lock. Jung, Murphy, or Maverick. Probably my most confident out of those three would be Jung. Robert's faster. He is. He's way faster, actually, but the power. Whitaker hasn't had a KO in years. Yeah. So we're going to get into the main event here. We're at about 51 minutes. We'll take about 10 more minutes, go over my final plays, go over my most confident picks, answer any final questions. And, yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the numbers. I'm going to be posting my bets on there sometime tonight. It's going to be late, but I do have a ton of action. And the main event, Khabib versus Gaethje, the fight I've been waiting for, you know, for so long. Such a fascinating matchup. So many aspects of this fight is just fascinating to me. I mean, somebody, you know, in Gaethje has never fought a wrestler like Khabib, and somebody in Khabib has never fought, you know, someone who hits like a truck like Gaethje, someone with the wrestling background of a Gaethje. And we hear it, you know, a bunch throughout the week. I mean, Gaethje, that wrestling background in college. The problem, like, with that is, like, he's never used it, you know. He's been taken down, I think, like 2 times in the UFC. Other than that, like, he's not really fighting many wrestlers. Obviously, Tony Ferguson's not going to go out there and try to take down Gaethje. Edson Barbosa's not going to try to take down Gaethje. Donald Cerrone's not going to try to take down Gaethje. James Vick isn't going to try to take down Gaethje. And I think a lot of people are looking back at that Tony Ferguson fight. And don't get me wrong, Gaethje looked fantastic, best he's ever looked. Cardi looked good going to the later rounds, but this is a completely different matchup, not even close, completely different stylistic matchup. Khabib's not going to go out there and, you know, strike with Gaethje for long periods of time. And it's watching, you know, tape on Khabib, like, it's a really good sight to see. He's someone who closes the distance very well. He gets it against the cage, he gets the takedown, and he controls you very, very well. And it's going to be interesting to see. I do think Gaethje's going to stuff those first couple takedowns, but after a while, I do see Khabib getting him down even more, wearing him out. And yeah, his cardio looked good against Tony Ferguson, but like I mentioned, that's a completely different fight. And there is a big elephant in the room, a big elephant, big giant elephant in the room. And I will touch on it because I am on Khabib. I do have him in a parlay, but there is a big elephant, and that is the weigh-ins. And Khabib did not look great. He did not look great. He looked really drained. He did not look good. And there's, you know, some rumors going around that he actually missed weight. And I didn't see the video myself. I got to check it out. But, you know, something weird going on with the scales and all that. I still have to watch it myself. But he did not look great. I watched it a bunch of times. I did not like what I saw. So, like, what I did was Gaethje at plus 430 by KO. I think that line's off. I think if Gaethje wins, it's obviously by knockout. I did take a shot on a Gaethje KO, half of a unit at plus 400. It's a small hedge, and I like the line. I think that there's upside in that line. And maybe the weight cut, you know, really did something to Khabib here. Maybe it did. But man, all I know, if Khabib's on his game, if he's looking good in there, he's going to be really big. I mean, he cuts down a ton. He's going to be huge in there by fight time. But did that weight cut take something away from him? We'll find out. But I see a ton of people on Gaethje. I mean, I'm a big Gaethje. I mean, Gaethje's my favorite fighter. I just don't see it. But the weigh-ins, I mean, it has me, you know, a little bit concerned. I'll be honest. The weigh-ins does have me concerned. So, like I said, I do have Khabib in a parlay. but I did do a very small hedge on the Gaethje by KO for a couple reasons. A small hedge, the weight cut. For another reason is the line is crazy. Plus 430 by knockout. That's off. It's off. It's a good line. So if you are on the Gaethje side, plus 430 seems like a gift. But yeah, give me Khabib here. Really curious to see how he shows up, how he looks. But the weight cut does not give me much confidence. But in a way, I'm still confident in Khabib. I like the stylistic matchup for him. But yeah, on DraftKings, I'm going to be about 65-35 in favor of Khabib. I might even lower that now down to 60-40 in favor of Khabib, just because of the weight cut. The weight cut looked bad. Gaethje looked fine. So, very concerned. Let me know what you guys think about the weight cut. How do you guys think that how do you think Khabib looked? I mean, he didn't look great to me. I see a lot of people thinking he looked awful. I don't know. Gaethje in this spot here. And I do see a lot of people on Gaethje. By the time Khabib fights, he will have 39 hours since the weigh-ins to recover. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But maybe, that weight cut can take some stuff out of you, It's the father's tribute fight. He won't lose. I mean, it's hard to see Khabib losing for a bunch of reasons. It wouldn't feel real if he lost this fight. It would be the most 2020 thing if Khabib did lose this fight. It would be the most 2020 thing, but it is 2020. Some crazy things going on. As soon as the lock was removed from the scale, it begins rising immediately, and the dude had his hand up and ready, slid it over right away, and he called 155. The scale was already set to 155. He missed. Yeah, I see that going around. It's tough. He did not look good. He was over for sure. Great video showing it. I'll take a look. The writing is on the wall for Gaethje, and I see a ton of people on Gaethje, and it kind of surprises me. I did see a ton of people on Dustin Poirier, the last fight against Gaethje. But I think I see a little bit more of Gaethje love here, and I can see why. But, man, Gaethje is winning this, mark my word. We have seen Khabib look bad at weigh-ins and perform fine. You're right. But not like this. You are right. Once again, his worst weigh-in by far. Yeah. So, yeah. 29-0. I don't know. Khabib time. People just want to – yeah, that's what I was thinking. But, yeah, the weigh-ins, yeah, not looking good. So, I will touch on all my bets here. I have quite a bit of bets, and then I'll answer any questions. We have about 340. I don't know if it's a record, but it's really close to the record. So thank you guys all for hanging out. Going to quickly touch on my bets right now. And I do have that straight bet on Shavkat Ramonov at plus 135, 1 unit on it. He's now minus 120. I don't love the line now, but I think it's fine. So I have 2 parlays on the card. I got them earlier in the week. I have Nurmagomedov parlayed with Miranda Maverick, 2 units, minus 150. I like that parlay a lot. 2 of my most confident picks. Obviously, the weigh-ins does not give me much confidence. That's why I did do the small hedge on Justin Gaethje to win by KO at plus 400 and half a unit on that. So either way, I'm fine. Either way, I'm making money, most likely. I don't see Gaethje winning a decision. And as long as Maverick gets it done, it should be fine there. And the other parlay I have, and I like this one as well, Volkov parlayed with Da Un Jung, plus 102. 2 units on that. Another parlay I really like. 2 of them are my most confident picks. And I also did kind of a hedge, I guess, with the under 2.5 of the Volkov and Harris. 1.3 units, minus 130. Obviously, I think if Harris wins, it's early in the fight. If Volkov wins, I think he can win in any single round. I think in probably the second round, maybe early third round. So I do like the under a lot. You're giving me 2 heavyweights that do hit hard, that can finish. Volkov with that extra weight is going to translate to power. I like the under 2.5 a lot. And other than that, so those are my 2 parlays, my straight bet. I do have Murphy by KO, TKO, plus 600. Man, there's some books on there that have like plus 800 out there. I mean, get on it when you can. Even just put a small bet on it. I mean, I think it's worth a shot. Half a unit on it at plus 600. Would love to hit that. Murphy is a finisher. I mean, she's finished 62% of her wins by knockout. And maybe Shakarova is some type of fraud. Maybe she is. She's fought a bunch of frauds. Maybe she is one. I don't know. We'll find out. But Murphy is way bigger. She hits like a truck. I like the plus 600 there. I think it's a steal. Phil Hawes inside the distance, minus 110. I have 1.1 units on that. And the reason I did this was because if Hawes wins, he's finished 100% of his fights. He finishes early in the first round. He's going for the kill early. I think you're taking a minus 240 favorite. You're getting a lot of value, getting that minus 110 inside the distance prop. And then finally, I have a small shot on Tuivasa wins in round 1. Only 0.25 units, a quarter unit on it. because I do think if Tai Tuivasa does win, it's in round 1. It's by knockout. So those are my bets for UFC 254. Those are all my bets. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this card. Let me know what you guys think about all that. Any bets you guys like? Thank you so much, Danger. $20. Thanks for the insight. Let's win some money. I agree with you there. Let's win some money. Again, thank you so much for the donation. It does help out a ton. I put a lot of work and effort into this, especially this week, man. Like I had to really, bust my butt to get everything done a day earlier. I'm winning 100K on DraftKings. Hopefully I win that with you there. Betting is hard without knowing what could be really ways. Yeah, that's true. I know you're on Rachmanov, but what do you think? Do you think he's a smart fan on DraftKings based on what I think he'll be high ownership? I don't know. I mean, I think it will be high owned, but I'm going to have a decent amount myself. So Bulk might bust that ticket. Yeah, if he does, I do have that under 2.5 to help me out, but I think he'll be fine. But yeah, the weigh-ins is a little bit concerning. Murphy round 3 plus 1,800. Murphy under plus 300. Great parlay piece, not bad. I know you've never read super chats, but just wanted to say I appreciate your insight. Thanks for the betting insights and DraftKings plays. Let's go on them units. I try to read the super chats as much as possible, but thank you so much for that donation. Let's win some money. You going on odds after this? Yes, sir. 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. Just found the Odds HQ crew a couple weeks ago. Best card breakdown from a betting perspective by far. Love these guys. Thanks for the knowledge. Thank you so much for the donation. Helps out a ton there. And just want to, one more time, got a sponsor for the live stream, Pub Sports Radio. The link is in the description. I'll put it in the comments. Go subscribe. It'll help out a ton. It will mean a ton. I'm going to be on there for the foreseeable future, doing extra content, betting, DraftKings, live streams, you name it. Going to be on there a ton. You'll be seeing me on there. Lots of great guys on there as well. So go hit the subscribe button. It helps out a bunch. Best DraftKings MVP. So for like the MVP slate for DraftKings, I mean, I think either Khabib or Gaethje. I think they're both really good MVP options. Other than that, maybe I don't know, Rachmanov. I think Cannonier could be a good one. Would you trust Alvarez in a parlay? Personally, no, but I don't hate anybody that's doing that. Austin Brady, yes, sir. Any thoughts on stacking Khabib and Gaethje for fantasy? So in cash, I'm very tempted to, only because of the pricing. Khabib 9,200, Gaethje 7,000. With that Gaethje 7,000, first of all, you get, if he wins, he's going to be, and you saw it last week in the Ortega, Zombie fight. Zombie was really high owned, but Ortega was only like 45% owned, like 50% owned. So I do think Khabib's going to be very high owned. I think Gaethje's going to be high owned, but maybe like only 55%. So if Gaethje does win, you pretty much win your cash games right there with the 7,000 underdog winning. So I do like the stack. I do think if Khabib wins, it's late, and I think Gaethje's live. Brady, if you were doing an all-in, which bet would you do? An all-in bet. I want to say Da Un Jung, I guess, is my most confident pick. I think Random Maverick's one of my most confident picks. You were really growing at a fast pace, 8,000 subs. Yeah, I would really like to get 8,000 soon. So if you guys can hit the subscribe button, would really appreciate that. I think like 700 subscribers away from there. All right, guys, that's about it. Thank you all so much for hanging out. We had over 300 for most of the video. I posted my betting breakdown on my channel earlier. I got it out on a Friday, so go check that out. I did my full card breakdown of predictions. You can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. If you want to support me more, I am on Patreon. Almost 200 members on Patreon. I mean, we're getting a lot of guys. We keep growing on there. A lot of people, new people in the Discord, love to see it. Come check out the Patreon. I mean, you get the betting model you see here. A lot of people do like that. Whenever I post a bet, I try to get the lines out there early, beat a nice line on Rachmanov this week. I do a betting breakdowns. I do an article, all that good stuff. So thank you guys for all the support. How's Khabib not your luck? Good night, guys. See you tomorrow. I mean, bright and early. And I'm going to be up late tonight doing a live stream, so hopefully I can try to get a little bit of sleep. See you on the up. See you guys then. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, Austin, for hanging out, guys. All right, guys, that's about it. Good luck tomorrow, and let's win some money. Let's get some takedowns on DraftKings. Let's win some bets. Let's get it.